want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Biz Now, because your business matters.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. Welcome. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone. This is the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. I'm going to prove it to you. We have been doing this show going on 12 years. We have over 946 interviews with community leaders and small business owners over the years. We have 748 videos on our YouTube channel. Please go to Joe Vagnone Business Broker on YouTube and subscribe. Again, that's Joe Vagnone Business Broker on YouTube and subscribe. We would like for you to do that. There are so many videos on so many sharp, intelligent people. It is just a great site that they have put together. Subscribe, Joe Vagnone on YouTube, and I'm positive you will find the answer that you're looking for if it's a small business question. Now, like every month, and those of you that have been listening to the show long enough know, we don't have a show unless there's a co-host to carry us along, and this month is no exception. We have my friend, whether she will admit it or not, Sherre DeMao. We also call her AKA Number One. She is a biz growth maestro, and she's creating high-performance strategies with exponential growth for businesses. And I have known Sherre. I'm embarrassed to say how long I have known you, Sherre. It's been a long time.
It's been a few decades.
Yeah. And over those years, I have watched you reinvent yourself and add to the skill sets that you do. So briefly fill people in on what Biz Growth Inc. is all about.
Well, I like to call it evolving the business as demands and opportunities arise. And so what Biz Growth Inc. is all about is about helping other companies build a enterprise that has value, worth, and preference. And so we focus on all aspects of strategy for a business. We focus on all aspects of what's going to build value for the business and make it highly valuable from a sales standpoint. But it's not just about the sale, which of course that's what you're all about as a business broker. It's also valuable from a marketplace and market positioning standpoint, and that's where the preference comes in.
You know, years ago, I thought of you as this master of marketing. Matter of fact, you wrote a couple of books on marketing. One of them is my favorite book. I got so many notes in that book and details. And then the more I get to know you, the more I realize that the reason why you were so good at the marketing was that you really do focus on the operational side.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, because we're going to talk a little bit about that with one of the articles you had written. And it is something that you sort of hit me on the back of the head. It wasn't no sort of about it. You hit me on the back of the head.
Yeah.
The fact that marketing is about defining what the operation does well.
Exactly.
Do it better.
Exactly.
And then let your customers know about it.
Well, I have lost count. Again, my company's 40 years old as of last year. Worked with literally thousands of entrepreneurs over those years. And I've lost count of the number of times.
Congratulations. There's probably less than 1% of the businesses in the world that are that old.
Yeah, thank you. And one of the things I would keep seeing as we would work on a business plan, because we always did a business strategy. We never just did a marketing strategy, because you can't build a strong marketing strategy if you don't know what's going on in the operations to leverage, right, in your marketing. And what would happen is we would have to pull back big time on the marketing, because if it was successful, when it was successful,
right,
they could shoot themselves in the foot because they didn't have the suppliers figured out. They didn't have the team members and the workforce figured out. They didn't have their operations figured out to a point that they could truly deliver what was being promised. And so that's when I kept seeing, and that's really the main reason why the company evolved the way it did, is I kept seeing nobody else in the space that we work with helping entrepreneurial business owners understand how important it is that operations and marketing are working together the way they should, and operation drives the best marketing opportunities as well.
You know, that as you were saying that, it brings back memories. I purchased the area representative rights to a grilled sandwich concept years ago as a franchise. They'd been in business 47 years. And I brought them into North Carolina and had sold 18 franchises in less than about 20-month period of time. And literally, by the time every one of them had opened, they were starting to fail and close.
Wow.
For the very reasons you described. The distribution wasn't designed and set up. I mean, all of the operational things that you would assume would be in place.
Right.
In fact, they were not prepared for that level of growth outside of their core area, right? I mean, they certainly did well in Ohio, but when you try and take that concept and move it to North Carolina, that operational was more important than Joe selling more franchises.
Well, and the real key that I want to point out based on what you just said is the ability to replicate success. And so that's a whole process improvement, protocols, standards. It goes on and on and on. And we're going to be talking about that later as well, right? So it's just absolutely essential that business owners embrace their operations, because that can be what helps them build preference over anything else, because they can prove something that nobody else is doing because it's inside out excellence.
And so now when Julie and I say you need number one, it really is sort of this all-encompassing challenge or problem. You'll go in, you assess what that might be.
Exactly.
And then you'll help them either do it or find somebody that can help them
or
do
a combination thereof. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now I don't want to upset you. We only got about a minute, right? So I don't, but one of the other things I've noticed is because you're a businesswoman, you really do connect with business women. They are more willing to listen to you as a businesswoman. Is that a fair statement?
Actually, when you look at my client base and you look at the men or women, I tend to work, a good majority of our clients are in male-dominated industries. So literally, starting my business, I was working with more male entrepreneurs than female entrepreneurs. It just so happens that I brought a couple, women entrepreneurs.
Well, no. I was going to say, when I bring you up to women, they're very excited that it's a woman coach,
gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't ask the question right.
But from a strategic advisor standpoint, I am unique from a it's typically a male-dominated industry.
Right.
You're right. You're right about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew we'd get there, that I was right. It just take a little time, but then we get there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll be back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Wagner, and you are listening to number one, Sherre DeMao, Biz Growth Inc. We'll be right back.
Yes.
It's really easy. He makes it easy.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to talk about your article.
Yep.
Good job. Good first segment.
Did you notice the way I pointed to her and told her she had to watch her timing?
Yeah, you said there's a minute left. I was like,
That was good. And I was looking at it out of the circle of my eye, but I'm glad you did that. Yeah.
Well, Sherre and I get talking. We're
Yeah,
not
we
going
do.
to pay nobody else any attention.
And you got a straight shot at it because I'm looking at you.
Okay.
like it's cooling down a little bit here.
Not really.
Right.
Not really.
I don't
But
think it's blowing.
Okay, now
But it's
remember
not-
the
I don't
Facebook
feel
is
like
still
it's
on,
getting
so now's a
hotter.
good time if you want to make fun
I
of
think
Joe.
It's just moving air around.
Yeah.
It's really all, it feels slightly cooler, but not
Well, I'm
If I
not
had a
sweating.
fan, I'd be a lot better off.
Pardon?
I'm not sweating.
Yeah,
but
I'm not either. I feel like I'm comfortable. I can, it's not a sauna. Let's put it that way.
Joe, can you please next week let me know if it's still hot, and I will bring a fan or two.
Joe is blaming you for the air situation.
You could tell Reese I'm gonna do something to somebody that's not good.
Threatening all kinds of.
I mean, you can't put a big man in a hot room and think he's gonna sit there and be pleasant.
I'm glad you're down in Cornelius right now. Still got about a minute.
Okay.
So,
All right.
maybe a little longer than that.
Okay.
How's that first segment?
Yeah. Grab the right size. I didn't have a chance to get to
Glad you
London.
wore the green. I like the green.
Green?
Yeah.
Is the air conditioning blowing?
Blowing, but like I said, it's just kind of moving the air around.
It's blowing hot air, basically.
It's not hot.
No
but it's
comment.
not.
Yeah, no comment. Yeah, I was waiting for someone to totally pick up on
Yeah,
that, and
no
they
comment.
didn't.
I'm the newbie
blowing
here.
hot air. We got Joe over there sitting in his hot seat.
Got about 30 seconds.
All right.
All right, Reese, I'm going on mute.
These headsets don't help either. You know?
Oh, I'm sure not. I'm sure not.
15. 5.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina, coming to you from Burner Cigar Studio here in WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. I'm here talking with Sherre DeMao. She is the founder and owner of Biz Growth Inc., and she is the most extraordinary business coach and advisor and operator that I have ever met. We got so many names, we just decided to say #1.
Thank you.
And Sherre is our #1 advisor. What I mean by that, and Sherre knows exactly what I mean by that, if my family member needs help, if I have a client that needs help, Sherre is the first person that I called. When my sister started her business, you
Yeah.
were the first person that I sent. When my son needed an article to get into college, you were the first person that I called for that. So we have a close and dear relationship with Sherre DeMao here at Local Biz Now. Thank you so much for being here. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you.
So, listen, even though I love you, you're not allowed to come on the show and be a co-host unless you bring something from the Google.
Absolutely.
Now, I know, #1, she is the Google. So you wrote an article, and what'd you bring us?
Yeah, I brought an article, literally just got released by Forbes last week, and it's the key factors to having a high business IQ. And I specifically was hoping it would be released before this show because I thought it was a perfect one to segue into our guest today.
Right.
And because we have this economic vitality model. And in that economic vitality model, there's intelligence quotient, IQ, EQ. Everyone knows what EQ is. VQ, which is velocity quotient, and PQ, which is profitability quotient. So, but every business starts in the IQ aspect of and it's because the business owner has a competency or has a passion or knows how to produce something or knows how to build something or has an expertise or experience. The problem is the reason we have so many business failures, you look at the statistics, only 35% make it past 10 years. That's pretty darn sad, isn't it? It's because they don't have a high enough IQ beyond just a competency and expertise or knowledge in what they do.
And you know, I read the article. I did my homework.
You're good at that, Joe.
And this first paragraph, you know what I thought about it?
What?
You know, us small business people, we don't get in business to do these things.
Right.
If people think that small business people get in business because they want to take charge and be a leader, that's not what they do. So this, for some people, they're listening to you say this and they're saying, well, of course you have to do that for a business. But for most small business people, this is not the first thing that they think about.
No,
in fact,
it isn't.
They keep putting this off as long as they can.
They do, and then it bites them in the butt.
That's correct.
Exactly right, unfortunately. And so that's why it is so important. And so I'm going to briefly say all the factors, and then we'll talk about the ones that we have time to talk about. So there's the whole aspect of business complexities, and that what I mean by that is regulatory compliance, tax code, legal aspects, you name it. The whole aspect of what I like to call trend getting, not trend setting. Now, of course, entrepreneurial companies are good at that, but the IQ aspect of it is about trend getting, not just trend setting. And then data analytics, that's bigger than ever before. We're in a big data world that we're in. It becomes even more important. But even way before we had big data, those companies that understood how to analyze their own data were way ahead of the curve for everybody else.
Right.
And then you have competitive insights, and then you have just plain old strategy, and all of those things feed into strategy. So going back to the business complexities around regulatory compliance, I tend to work a lot with businesses like financial services, healthcare, construction, manufacturing, list goes on, all having big issues around compliance, regulatory, whether it's OSHA, whether it's HIPAA, whether it's this, whether it's that, and businesses that don't just view that as a cursed event. They actually view it as an opportunity to level up their quality above and beyond. That's where the power comes, because you embrace it and you say, you know what, this might be a standard, or this might be a regulation, or this might be this, that, or the other. We're going to take it up an even bigger notch. We're going to make this a part of what makes us even better than our competition, because we're not just going to do good enough or get by. We're going to go one level higher, next level higher. So that's really, really powerful. But then you have to know what that next level higher is, right? So you got to pay attention. You can't just curse somebody telling you, well, you have to follow these codes or whatever.
So am I right to say a lot of this is in the first book you wrote? What you just, this sounds familiar about some of the stuff that's in your first book.
So in that Growth Secrets to Down Economic Times, absolutely.
You had examples of how you help people.
Absolutely. Yeah. So even though it was 50 marketing secrets, what made that book so successful is layered in it were all these operational things, right? And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, wow, I never thought of that. Well, just like you've said to me when we worked together.
That's right.
Well, I never thought about you having to do this in order to figure that out.
You caught me when you said embrace these things, because when you valued my business, the first thing that you came to was my pain point, which as clients want to hear from me, and I don't want to tell them anything until I got a buyer for them, right?
Yeah,
and you said, but
exactly.
Joe, they want to hear, right? And
even if it's crickets, they want to hear. Right. They want to say, well, we have crickets for you, but this is what we've done, even though no one's ready to buy yet.
And your statement
made a big difference. Yeah.
Embrace the fact that you have nothing and tell them what you do have or what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that statement, embrace the challenges or the what would normally be the requirements, that's a really healthy statement for small business people.
And then the whole aspect of
it's for operational and marketing.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And now let's segue to trend getting. Okay, so trend getting, because that is so powerful. And I'll give you a quick example. A lot of business owners will kind of pay attention to trends that are happening in their own industry. But you also have to understand how trends flow, and this isn't even in the article, but I want to share this. How trends flow just in the United States, okay? So where does all innovation typically happen in the United States? Where would your guess be? What coast would it be?
Oh, that's a great. I would probably say the West Coast.
That's exactly right. So West Coast starts it all. I mean, you just look at the green movement with environmental green. That was in the 70s.
I never know why, but I've always
so that
thought
was in the
that's coming.
70s, but it didn't hit here in the Southeast until like 2000 something, right? So it flows from the West Coast up to New York City, down to the Midwest. Guess who gets it last? Southeast. The Southeast gets it. Now, what makes
Now,
our
I know
marketplace?
that because I do a lot of franchising sales, and that's where Julie and I go to the franchising person first, and he tells us what news coming to our area.
Yeah.
Because that tells me that's the trends that have come from other across the country.
Now,
so,
what makes this marketplace really unique is because the Charlotte marketplace is such a melting pot of all of these areas of the country moving here. So Charlotte has a unique situation where even in other areas of the Southeast where something might not be ready to really launch, it can be in this marketplace because of the melting pot that the Charlotte marketplace is. So that's really important to understand. Another aspect.
But timing does matter.
Oh,
you
timing
can
does.
be too early.
Oh, you can't. An example of that is, oh goodness, it's probably 20 years ago. Somebody with generators wanting to sell them to homeowners and like private dental practices and things like that. They did a pretty good job of selling it to like doctors' practices and stuff. But everyone was looking at, well, what do we need? Our electricity isn't going to go out. And so he was way ahead of the curve, and he finally had to close down because he just couldn't get the sales that he wanted because he was ahead of the curve. And then he used his cell phone number, and people kept the card. And then like 10 years later, they call him and say, hey, we're ready to buy that generator now. And of course, now everyone has backup generators here because of the hurricanes, because of this, because of that. So that's a perfect example of that, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we've only got about a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
Let's keep going on this.
Okay. So data analytics. Oh my goodness. Way before we've had big data, and even way before we've had technology to track data, I have been preaching this. Your data holds so much. Your customer segments, what you track, how you track the different offerings that you have, so you can make comparisons of sales and what's working, what's not, and then connecting it to the different customers and everything else. And then tracking even geographically what's happening and where things are flowing. A good example of that is a Pilates studio I was working with, and they were almost going to, locate a location just in Huntersville when they were in Davidson. And I said, please don't sign that lease until we do our work here. And they ended up putting a location in Mooresville because of the data work that we did, and realizing they would have actually been competing with each other if they would have been in Huntersville and Davidson. So it's that kind of stuff that there's so much data that is just hidden within all of the customers and the offerings and your accounting that is just waiting to be, processed and leveraged.
And in my case, I end up selling that in the future. I mean, that
Yes, you
gives
do.
real value and equity to the owner.
It does. When a potential buyer knows that they can crunch some reports that others can't, very valuable.
So when I read this article, we've got about a minute, but one of the things that I've been advising small business people for years is a small business advisory board. If they created something, a lot of the people that are on the board would move them in this direction.
Absolutely.
And just taking an hour or two to sit with a group of people are going to help them move in this direction. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. And what can also be very powerful is a peer advisory board. If you are someone like our client my client that's going to be on shortly, having a peer of others in the same industry across the country, you're not competing with each other, but you're learning from each other.
Right.
That can be really powerful. So I recommend that to a lot of clients where they're more local or regionally based. Try to create a national peer group. Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a break. We'll be back. And you can introduce your client.
I look forward to it. Yeah.
This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We'll be right back.
To the
If you're wondering, do I always mess with him? Yeah.
Oh, don't
So if
worry
it
about
wasn't
that. No, you don't
the
need to
heat,
talk
it will
about
be
that.
something else.
You're talking general terms. Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm like,
No.
Are you
That's
getting
what
some
this is
AC right
about.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, you ladies need to switch.
Yep, that's right.
You're in the hot seat now.
Time.
Yeah, we don't need to
All right,
get
you
into
got
the
3
nitty-gritty
minutes to
details.
leave,
Yeah.
or you got to sit in the hot seat. Take your shot.
Let me grab my water. Excuse me.
But for this side. Like that? Comfortable?
Yeah, it's fine.
I know, I understand that.
Try and get it off my neck back here. Maybe I won't sweat as much.
Oh, it's good. Yeah. Yep. I'll probably sit up a little bit more. So
I'm
there.
gonna raise this just a little bit.
All righty. Sherre, we have 164 subscribers.
Awesome.
And
Okay.
you remember when I had one.
I remember when you had one. It's
I'm
really
trying
cool.
to get-
It is really cool. Since I co-hosted in December, you've significantly increased that.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you
It was like
that
100 and
I'm trying to
something.
get to 200.
Yeah.
Because I was told that the average, this is all of YouTube, the medium is 73 subscribers.
So that's
And
awesome.
200 puts you at the top 5%.
Oh, I love it. Okay, we're going to work that.
So I told Julie,
That's
I
way
want 200.
cool.
I want.
That's way cool.
So we're at 164.
We're gonna get
I
it.
know it is not Kardashian, 200 million.
Said 3 minutes?
Anyway,
Okay. Oh gosh, but no, isn't that amazing though when you think about percentage-wise? Well, I mean, and again, looking at percentages of businesses that fail still,
Right.
it's heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking, and I really do believe there could be 100% business success with the right know-how, and it's just a matter of getting that understanding out there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, there shouldn't be only 35% of businesses making it past 10 years.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And I can go on a whole nother spiel there.
Well, but your article kind of hits on it more than you would know, which is, truthfully, they were never prepared for all the aspects. And modern day small business, you have to do so much more.
Oh, yeah, right.
I mean, I had 40 restaurants in Charlotte, 26 in Jacksonville, Florida, 18 in Nashville, Tennessee, and 3 commissaries, 5,000 square foot commissaries with truck delivering to these restaurants. I'm telling you, I could have never built that today. I mean, when I look back at what I had built,
Now, why do you say that?
it's just the amount of regulation and detailed requirement, the cost.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
remember, these are small little sandwich shops.
Yeah.
Right? So the cost to create that
Yeah.
would be far more than the value that they would have actually produced. And so it's much harder to do that. So it is a different world. I mean, the way you approach this requires a lot more sort of foresight.
Yes.
Where I just said, let's open up a sandwich shop. Let's get
Well,
started.
and that's
No,
what-
we'll figure it out. Come on, let's just,
And the whole figuring it out later is a real entrepreneurial spirit thing. But then that's where you surround yourself with people that might have the IQ you need, right?
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why when I wake up and realize I got 170 employees, I never, intended on being the guy that everybody looked at. Like, that wasn't...
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure,
there was
too.
no dream,
Yeah.
oh boy, I'm in charge.
Right.
Believe me, you don't want to be in charge of that many people calling you every day.
Yeah.
So those types of things have changed drastically.
It has.
And the way I manage those 175 people, I mean, Sherre, I'd probably be in jail right now. I don't mean I treated them bad.
No,
I just
no.
mean all the regulation.
Right. Trying to, the nuances of people
Right.
management, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It really is a completely different approach
Mm-hmm.
to doing this. And so this sort of advisory group of the right kind of people really does help
It can
small
help.
business people
It really
keep them
can.
on the right track.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't get old fast enough.
All right, guys, 30 seconds.
All right.
I don't think I can create that again. My wife reminds me often how long it was ago that I built that business.
15 seconds. We're already halfway through. We'll get through.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, yeah. 5, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. I hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Ragnone, and this is where your business matters. I am here with my #1 absolutely spectacular person on the planet, Sherre DeMao. She is Biz Growth Inc. founder. Sherre, thank you so much for being
Welcome.
here.
You're welcome.
This is like this is an old hat for you. Like you've been doing this show
Yeah,
with
I
me
have.
for
Since-
the 12 years.
I have, yeah. First as a guest. Yeah, it was really cool.
Right. So thank you so much for all
You're
of that.
welcome. It's a pleasure to be here, really. It's exciting.
So you have brought us a guest. Please introduce us.
I'm so thrilled. This is a guest and a client, Christine Tobias. She is the founder and co-owner of the Rec Dispensary, 3 locations in Statesville, Hickory, and Denver, North Carolina. And she was impassioned. She's going to tell more about her story as we talk to her, but she has 18 years in healthcare, increased her desire to expand into the field of natural healing and holistic health. And I'm sure she'll talk a little bit more about that as to why she has the Rec Dispensary. But everything from quality control and quality assurance to in health laboratories, hospitals, and on the insurance side. So she's been on all, aspects of healthcare and health-related aspects. And so it's my pleasure to introduce Christine.
Oh, well, hello.
Joe, you could have a little applause or something. You could do something.
I agree.
Thank you.
That was a
Thank you.
good introduction.
Thank you.
Christine.
Thank you very much.
That's right. That's right. Christine, thank you so much for being. I appreciate it.
Thank you. My
I
pleasure.
apologize for the heat.
Will do.
For those that don't know, they're listening. We're in a hot box today because our air conditioner is slowed down on a 95-degree day. We're making the best of it.
We are.
Yes, we are.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
So I always like starting an interview with this question. Like you didn't wake up on a Tuesday and just decide, I want to start selling this product. Kind of walk me through how we got here.
It was an evolution, like Sherre said, but, I was at a moment in my life where I'm like, all right, do I want to continue on this path, or are we going to try something new? And, well, empty nest syndrome or not sure, but I decided to try a new path.
So when you say on this path, so kind of give me an idea of what that path was that you were on before this.
Well, I've worked in hospitals, pathology and lab for over 25 years, mainly sitting in a hot seat, helping with and doing the inspections for the different accrediting agencies like JACO, CAP, COLA. And it's something I was kind of passionate about, the thing that everybody hates, just simply because I felt like I was doing
Sherre,
good.
She was like embarrassed to say she was passionate about something. I got this weird mixed feeling.
Well,
I could tell you actually liked doing that.
Yeah,
and
she
then
lit up
then
when
was-
she talked about it. Yeah.
I do. I really did enjoy it.
You
Well,
don't
I
have
mean,
to-
there's...
around here, we like passion. So
I loved it, all right? There's volumes and volumes of what a hospital has to do and how to perform and how to monitor and record and everything that they have to do. And I really found it fascinating, and knowing that the end result is helping someone live a healthier, happy life. Well, then, yes, I have no problem making sure there's wash your hands and making sure everything is set up in case something happens, that the situation can be handled in the best way possible.
And so why'd you stop doing it?
Well, I guess anybody who's worked in a hospital would know there's definitely a lot of politics in hospital work.
Right. I wouldn't know that, actually. So
You wouldn't know? Yeah,
you just told me something I really didn't know.
Yeah, watch a few shows, Grey's Anatomy or something. You'll see it.
I thought it was just TV. I didn't know it was real.
Apparently
It's
so,
a
right?
slightly watered down version for
Okay.
TV, right?
Okay.
No, I absolutely loved hospital work, and it always does give you just an innate good sense of self-worth, knowing that you're helping the community that you're living in. So it's just kind of expanded on that and getting into cannabis. I am new to North Carolina as of 2011. So I've been here about 15 years. But
So where'd you grow up at?
Where did I grow up? Central Florida.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're one of those rare people that moved from Florida instead of to Florida.
Well, there was a long list. Born in New York, raised in Florida. Spent a little over a decade out in California, and then I wound up here in North Carolina.
Sherre, she's given us this life history.
Yeah.
She don't look old enough for all this stuff.
I know, I agree.
Oh, thank you. My new best friend over here. Yes. Thank you.
So how long has the stores been open?
I've had the stores open since April of 2019.
Well, and back up just a little bit, because you helped others in this space before you opened your store. So talk a little bit about that, if you could.
Well, it wasn't, although I had exposure to the industry coming from California.
Sure.
That's all that needs to be said. I mean, she's already been in 4 states. We're only 3 minutes into the interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It goes by quick. But where were we going with this?
Yeah. So you did some consulting work, is what I wanted. I wanted you to talk about that, because that further inspired you to open your stops.
Well,
I think.
It made me go this route, and that was just I was asked to help a few people get involved in the cannabis industry, and it worked out really quite well, and we were able to help them set up in 3 different states, and it just gave me the contacts and let me see the flip side of how it was helping people who needed it, and it was fascinating.
Yeah. So I wanted her to talk a little bit about the fact that she got involved in helping others set up for their success, and then, and was learning along the way, right? You were learning along the way, but you had built some trust with others who saw, obviously, you had some wherewithal to help them succeed. Yeah.
Yes. And it's definitely been a fun journey. And, well, quite frankly, most people that work in cannabis are quite cool. Interesting people.
Yeah.
Right? Varied backgrounds. It's been quite an eye-opener.
So walk me through your family life. Do they support this? Kind of give me a little feel on that.
Well, my background, my grandfather's a pastor. My grandmother took the church over when he passed. So I had a very stringent Christian upbringing, which I appreciate every day. Did
the face stick? I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, she was talking about singing praise earlier.
I don't know. She nodded, but she kind of looked. I don't know if that stuck or not, but okay.
But yes, my parents definitely said, "Is this a midlife crisis you're having?" And I was like, "Well, maybe, but I'm okay with it if it is. I'm having a good time, right?" And so yes, I did get the support of my family, even though they didn't quite understand what I was doing. My father was a Marine, and Mom worked in healthcare.
Well, it's interesting. Of course, Sherre, you know this better than most, but the modern day business person, it's about 7 years, and they're doing something else or adding something else. And, it used to be years ago, you took a job, or even if you started a business, that was it, Now, about every 7 years, we're sort of trying to reinvent ourselves or do something else. So that's probably a common statement.
Yeah.
Well, and I would like to, opening in 2019, Christine was among the first to have these types of stores. And now the competition is just unbelievable.
Right.
7, 8 competitors in each of the marketplaces. And so I think we'll take the time after we get back off break, and we can talk a little bit more about that.
Why we want them to go see her.
Why we want them to go
instead of the
her.
guy in the back of a truck picking up some of this stuff. Right.
There you go.
You are listening to Local Biz Now.
Well said.
I am Joe Vagnon, where your business matters. REC Dispensary. We'll be right back.
No, that was a great segue into next. That was a great segue into this. Yep.
What are you going to hit me with next?
Well, I'm going to have you talk about your values, and taking it up a notch. The whole
okay.
Christine seal
Julie's
of approval.
got your link on Facebook for your book. Okay. All right. We good? You all right?
I'm good.
Oh, you're doing great.
She looks like she's about 25, does she not? But the life she's describing makes her sound like she's 60.
Getting close.
New York, Florida, California. What am I missing? North Carolina.
Yes.
Am I missing a state?
Nope, no missing any states. That's it. You know, kind of do the four corners and go to the heart. So.
Okay, awesome.
Yay.
Well, you know, Joe, you may not know that my business was in Ohio and Kentucky before North Carolina. I relocated from two different states, throughout my 40 years. Yep.
So
I'm glad I came here.
Where'd Daddy have the church at?
Not daddy, granddaddy. Down
Granddaddy.
Yes, Orlando.
Okay, Florida. Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom took over the church or your grandma took over?
Grandma.
I missed that part. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think I was paying attention, did you?
They're all past now, so don't make me talk about them too much. I don't want to cry.
Yeah, let's change the subject.
Don't want to cry. I miss them.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It sure is.
30.
Awesome.
Next segment.
Yes, he's no Diane Sawyer, no crying.
Yeah,
Nobody likes Joe.
yeah.
Nobody likes. He got no friends.
Look at that. He's like, in.
He don't pay me no never mind. Believe me.
Here we go.
You know why he puts up with me? Because I bring him snacks.
That's you gotta
That's key,
feed
man.
the passion. Yeah.
You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and I'm here with my #1, Sherre DeMao. She is the founder of Biz Growth Inc. We're also here with Christina. She has, do you like me to say REC or Rec Dispensary?
The Rec Dispensary.
Rec Dispensary. And now, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for
Sherre
having me.
did I hear Sherre say you have 3 locations?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Okay. Where are they at if somebody wanted to go by?
Oh, well, 283 2nd Street, Southeast in Hickory. That's our flagship, our first location we opened. Next, we went into Denver, and it's right there near the corner, 16 and 150.
I know it
Dr.
well.
J's old office. We're in there, and we moved to Statesville almost 2 years ago, and we're right there at 1800 Newton.
It's 10 minutes away. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So, walk me through the day that you decided I'm going to open this store up. Walk me. I can't tell you how many small business people are out there that moment is like something they just remember. Walk me through that day.
Oh, I wish I could be the same. I mean,
It was just a blurry nightmare for you.
Know, it was, well, if I can do this, this, and this, and then I'm going to do it, right? And it took 5 minutes for all of those things to go down. And then I went, oh, my gosh. So, well, I guess I got to
I'm
do
in.
it now.
So this just fell into place for you then?
Yes.
Well, and what I would like to go back to are 2 different things. 1, your passion on holistic health, okay?
Yes.
And 2, what I was talking about earlier in the article that we talked about around quality assurance and standards. And, you know, you're in an industry that is, you know, it professes to be regulated, but it's not really regulated. So you have to literally, like, when we first started working together, she has to create her own compliance department, seriously, to make sure she's doing everything. But what really impressed me is your whole aspect of Christine's seal of approval, rec approved. Talk about that, because you want to take it up a notch, and that, that's really important to you. You want people to know that they're getting. Describe what that is. I know you use the word clean. I know you use the word different things. So what is that? How do you define that?
Well, let's face it, cannabis in this world, I mean, people have been using the black market for forever, right?
No.
I know it's shocking, but, and when you have to do that, sometimes, quality.
Right.
A lot slips through the cracks.
Right.
Right. And although in states where they've legalized marijuana, the federal bill is for industrial hemp.
Right.
And since it's federally legal, nobody has really taken a lot of steps to get regulation in place federally.
Mm-hmm.
So because of your background in the hospital, and you've already told me how much you like the formality and the systems right in play, you are the perfect person to make sure that what you are selling is exactly what the client thinks they're buying.
Yeah.
That's important.
It's huge
It is
because they've
huge.
never been able to do that before, right? We go directly to the farm or to the manufacturer. We don't use middlemen. If I order something, it's coming from where it's being made, right? And that just helps simplistic freshness, right?
Right.
We're not using a big distributor where everything gets stored in a warehouse and, is it temperature controlled? Did those gummies melt 3 times or did they freeze 4, right?
Good points.
So just hardlining on that. The freshness factor is huge. I also have always required, since day one, full panel lab testing on any product in my store that was cannabis, right?
What does that mean?
A full panel lab test just means I wanted not only...
It is what they say it is.
Yes.
The percent is what they say it is.
Well, that would be potency.
Okay.
So yes, a potency lab test will say, hey, they said this was 50%. It's 50%, right? And you have an outside lab verify that. But I wanted more. I wanted them to test for microbials, pesticides, residual solvents, heavy metals. Because what if they did everything
Gets in the health
nice,
aspect, yeah.
right? If they did everything right in their farm, but all of a sudden you got some DEET or pesticides popping up in their products, well, that's maybe the neighboring farm isn't adhering to them, or they're growing simply for it to be made into cloth or something, so they don't care if they put pesticides on it, right? So just making
you're
sure.
describing things I wouldn't even have thought of that
Right.
make me feel so much comfortable. Why go anyplace else? I want
Right,
to
I
trust
agree.
what Christy is buying.
Yeah. And me too. And it hasn't necessarily made me very popular with manufacturers.
I got a feeling you don't care about that.
Popularity has never been a desire of mine. I can honestly say that. But, and maybe not the most popular. And I've had people hang up on me. You're the only person that wants this. And I'm like, fine. Are you going to do it? And, they either do or don't. And quite frankly, it has allowed me with certain manufacturers, in North Carolina and all across the country. They loved it. They're like, you know what? You made us grow faster.
See, how impressive is that, right?
We did what you requested and we told everybody. And now we're
So
national.
Sherre, they embraced her
Yeah.
measurements,
Yeah.
and she's
So,
changing the industry.
I'm telling you, she's creating a compliance department, herself, and it could ultimately, I see her being a prototype literally for others across the country. I really
Right.
do believe that
Oh,
because of what you're doing. Yeah.
So, okay, so we've got the first store set up. It just happened, poof, right? And then do you find you see yourself in there working every day? I mean, do you enjoy that part of it, the retail side of it? Because that's different than what you were used to in the hospital.
Huge. And that was probably the scariest part for me.
Somebody coming in wanting to talk to you scared you.
Well, you know,
That's
there's
funny,
a reason
right?
why people stay in the pathology lab side of the world, right? So yes, I was taking my CBD so I can help my customers. That was, you know, it's just how it had to be. But yes, it was me in the store, me, myself, and I for, you know, 7 days a week for a while. But then I was like, all right, I need a day off. So we closed on Sundays. But it was actually, that's the fun part.
So I'm curious because I can tell you're detail oriented and quality is important to you. So hiring was probably hard for you. Was that hard for you? I'm guessing here, right? That you want to make sure the people that represent you are of a certain caliber, right?
And
Which
that's
in
a
small
great
business
segue.
is
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yes. Well, it is in any situation or any industry. I think most managers or business owners I talk to, you know, the bane of their existence
That's
is
right.
the employees and making sure they're doing everything they can for and staying up with regulations and everything. Just on that whole HR side is another little nightmare, right?
Yeah, right.
And I have to say I agree with them because it's very important to me that if someone is going to represent what we're trying to give to the community, they have to have a passion for this as well. I'm not hiring people to put them in a seat.
And I'm telling you, Sherre, when she's talking, I'm believing her. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. I absolutely believe that if I went to her store, I am getting the best she can produce.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that's really impressive, because I've done competitive analysis, I've been doing secret shopping, and so first with her locations, and the knowledge of her team members are just it blew my mind, quite frankly. And then I learned that a minimum of a month training before they can be out on their own, which is way beyond any competitor. So I
absolutely.
want her to talk more about that because it's that important to her that these people know what they're talking about and they also know what to say and not to say because that is an issue. That can be an issue.
And I want small business people to hear you describe this because this is an important success. This is a cornerstone to success. So talk about your training.
Well, the training, they basically have to shadow me for a couple of days. And I am...
So it's not a trainer. It is you.
It's me to begin with. And I have a tendency to talk a little bit. I went to school and we were lectured in school and then we got to do the work once we got home, right? So the first few days they spend with me, they are probably very sick of my voice, right? But I'm constantly asking, you know, is this...
You're over communicating what you want.
Yes, I like to be crystal. And once I think they do understand what I'm looking for and want, and then they start shadowing the other employees. And
you think that takes 30 days for that process to
Oh,
happen?
more, she says sometimes.
at least 30 days, you know. I tell all the new employees, you know, hey, the state gives us 90 days. If you want to take 90 days to figure out if we like each other, that's fine with me. You know, or if you'd like to speed it up and see what's going on, we can do that as well. So, you know, we try to make, you know, there's a curve there. So at least 4 weeks, it can be up to 8. For training before
Well,
I
and the
feel
other
comfortable
thing-
with them speaking with a customer privately.
Right, and I think the other thing that's great about her whole shadowing approach, I think it's a really great model, is it creates a community among their team members too.
Yes.
I would think, because that's the other thing I noticed is the camaraderie between the team members if there's more than one.
Do you rotate employees between all 3 stores, or do they have their store?
No, they rotate to all 3 stores.
Which is cool.
Yeah, well, it gives them more exposure, one, and also customers seem to cross-pollinate.
Right.
And, you know, oh, well, I had a meeting over here and I saw, so I stopped in, and then they see their favorite bud tender and they go, and they immediately feel right at home. And so it has been a blast. I can't deny it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chrissy, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rec Dispensary.
Yes.
You can look it up online. They are just... there's nobody else to trust, Sherre, than them.
I agree.
For sure. Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree.
You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We will see you next week.